Hi everybody, I'm Kanyusi Lamini and I'm here to help you increase your wealth through e-commerce. In today's video, we're going to talk about product research method, where we first understand our audience, figure out their problems or insecurities, and then we go look for products to solve those problems or insecurities. Now, the first step is knowing and understanding your target audience. The first question you should probably ask yourself is, are you part of the audience? Usually, if you're part of the audience, then you really understand whether you buy the product or not, or whether this solution or product really solves the problem you're really trying to solve. Also, if you're not part of the audience, at least you have to be familiar with the audience. So, for instance, I'll tell you a little bit of a backstory about myself. I grew up in a single mother household. I grew up with my sister. I'm very prevalent in terms of some problems that females have and some insecurities. If you actually go on to e-commerce and you check most of the e-commerce brands, skincare brands and beauty brands really do well because they know how to deal with the blemishes. They know how to promise the long eyelashes or the magnetic eyelashes. So if you're not part of the audience, at least have familiarity with the audience and have an understanding. Reason why is that you really want to understand the habits and the routine of the audience so that you can really, really start to understand how much do they value this problem or how irritable is this problem of insecurity, and will your solution make their lives better? Like I said, at the end of the day, you really, really have to have a clear understanding on who you're selling to. For instance, I love to work out. I love the gym. I probably go to the gym 4 times a week, and I play sports and do martial arts just for cardio. So I'm a very active person. So I already told you three categories there. So one, sportsman specifically, I play indoor soccer or indoor football. I love to gym and I do martial arts. So those are three audience types. Three audience types that I can look in. So let's zone in onto gym because I feel like there's a lot of people who gym. You see, there's probably more people who gym than there are people who love playing indoor football, because now really I can see the size of my market, but we will talk about that in the next slide. So looking at people who love to gym, what are the things that we're trying to achieve? We're always trying to look good. So anything that's going to help me look good or help my gym efforts give me a better return of investment, I'm definitely interested in. Depending on what season I'm in, I either like to lose weight or I like to build mass. So any product that's going to help me lose weight when I need to lose weight, or any product that's going to help me build mass, I'm very interested in. So they're already we're thinking about programs or we're looking at supplements. So those are already two products that people can sell me, right? So let's go think further in terms of what else do I need. Well, when I go to gym, I realize that I like to have soft hands, and there's a lot of iron, a lot of heavy stuff. So I would probably want to have my own gym gloves that I can sell. But sometimes gym gloves get really sweaty and sticky. So I'd really, really, really like to find gym gloves that are has great ventilation, that have climate cool, excuse me, and don't sweat and um, loosen my grip when I'm lifting up weights. So I think that would really, really be a great product idea. Me selling non-sticky ventilated gloves that don't move while you exercise. How many people have the same problem? So this will determine the market size. Is your problem a local problem? Is it a provincial problem? Is it a national problem? Is it a continental problem? Or is it a global problem? Now, going back to the gym example, so for instance, I'm based in South Africa right now. I'm based in Johannesburg. Gauteng is my province, Johannesburg is my city, and South Africa is my country. So right now in Johannesburg, we're having a water crisis. So if I'm a gym lover, I know after gym I have to shower. Now I usually like to shower at the gym, or I like to shower at home if it's just too full. But if there's no water, the solution that I'm coming with, so let's say we're creating soap or a way to get yourself clean without water for hypothetical reasons, that is a provincial, not a provincial, Johannesburg, a local problem, So people in and around my area who go to gym will experience the same pain as I do. But people who are outside my province or outside my state, so the people in Cape Town or the people in Durban, they are still able to gym and wash their bodies afterwards, and that is not a problem. So me coming up with a product that only filters in for the local environment, that's maybe not good. But going back to the gym gloves, now whether there's water or not, people will need gloves. And specifically, some men prefer not to use gloves, but females, they have nails, they want to look after their hands, and I'm assuming they don't want to have um, tough hands. So there could be my target audience. And no matter where you are around the world, if you go to gym and you're a female, you're probably gonna want gym gloves. So there, I've just shown you the difference between supplying at your local environment, your provincial environment, national environment, or your continental or global environment. The second and probably a very, very important step is the people that you're trying to sell to, do they have the money to afford your solution? You know, another crisis that we're going into in South Africa, and I guess some parts of the rest of the world, is we're having an energy crisis. So, certain periods of the day, we do not have electricity. Now, the majority of this country, the majority of people in my country have this problem. An easy solution, the first solution that people will think about is solar power or solar panels getting off the grid. Now, that solution, only a minority of people in South Africa can afford that. If we look at I think our GDP and our economy, I think majority of people, will not be able to afford that. So even though we all have a provincial or national problem, only small people have the money to have that problem solved for them. There could be alternative, energy solutions, maybe UPSs or generators at a lower price point. But then again, I have to investigate my audience and say, am I targeting the right people? And how do I find out whether people can afford my solution or not? So going back to the gym example, if you think about it, if I'm selling gym gloves that are climate cool, that are sweat proof, and they don't, get loose as you're training throughout for females, if you think about what's required to be in the gym, you have to be able to afford your monthly membership. So whoever I'm selling to, there's a high probability that they're paying a membership fee. And if they're paying a membership fee, then I can say, okay, cool, membership fee averages around 300 Rand to about 1,000 Rand a month. Therefore, if I sell them a product that lasts for a year or even 2 years at a price range of 300 Rand, they should be able to afford it because they're putting that money towards the gym on a monthly basis. And then if you think about what a person is dedicated, if I'm chasing there's degrees in understanding your audience. If I'm chasing the high ticket person who loves gym the most, is a gym enthusiast, and I want to give them the best product as possible, then I can also assume that this person literally has a program, some type of program, either a weight loss program or a gym or a strength gaining program, or these could be things that are upsell later in the different stage if they don't have it. As I expand my niche, but we're not expanding the niche right now. We are just trying to define or find the product that we're going to sell to our audience. So going back to the gym gloves, if I'm selling gym gloves to a gym enthusiast, I can assume, okay, cool, they have a weight program or they have a nutrition program. I can assume that they have supplements. I can assume that they're actually interested in gym wear. Maybe they got tights or maybe they've got a second skin. And if we actually look at the market in terms of all the products I just mentioned, supplements, depending on whether you toning or getting bigger, bulking up, you're spending about 1,000, 2,000 rand, minimum, or in between that price range. So a person spending 1,000 to 2,000 rand maybe every 3 months can definitely have money to afford my, let's say, 500 rand gym gloves, and it's a once-off purchase. If you're thinking about the programs and everything like that comes additionally, then I can make the assumption that this group of people, this audience of mine, definitely has the money to pay for my product. And then the last slide, once we've figured out our audience and we understand our audience so well that we know their problems and we know their insecurities. Once we know our audience problems and insecurities, we have to factor whether the problem is a local problem, a national problem, or a global problem. Ideally, you want to be solving global problems, but if you also want to niche out to start, that's not an issue. But ideally, you want to go for a problem that is a global problem. Once we figure that out, now we can start looking for products that solve that specific problem, and we would be going to AliExpress. AliExpress is just a platform that has many manufacturers, and we can definitely go onto the platform and start searching. So using the gym gloves example that are climate cool, non-sticky, and are very reliable with good material, we will just go to AliExpress, which we'll do in the next video, and search for gym gloves at a very, very decent price point. And that is how we start searching for the right product. Then what we'll do is that once we figure out the problem for our audience, we would definitely go through the winning product criteria. So I'll be looking at gym gloves that I, could be buying at a cheap price. So if we're saying we're selling them at 500 rand, we want them with shipping fees to be 100 rand, So for every time I buy one glove for 100 rand, I want to sell for 500 rand. So remember, we want to be only dealing with products that we can mark up by a minimum of 3 to 5x, ideally more than that. So if we can find a cheap product and sell it for high, or we can see that this product has so much quality with the way it's packed, the way it's perceived, and the way we market it, we can definitely give it to the customer for value at a high price point compared to what we bought it. The product has to have a wow factor. It has to solve a problem. So there are so many gym gloves out there, So the one thing that I have to make sure and emphasize is that I have to ensure that my gym gloves are comfortable and have ventilation. And they need to be, because let's say I'm niching down and I'm focusing on female gym enthusiasts, and some females have nails and they love the nail art. If I can find gym gloves that are maybe pretty and ensure that they don't get in the way of ladies' nails, and it has some great sweat proof or sweat retention that females feel comfortable to gym in and feel comfortable to look cute in, then I think that is the wow factor. So your product has to have the wow factor. It needs to catch the attention in the first 30 seconds. We want to find a product that has a reasonable shipping fee. We don't want to, for instance, let's say, have a product that we sell at 200 rand, but it costs 150 rand to ship the product to the customer, because the shipping fee is almost as much as the product. Again, this is where the markup comes in. We want to have high value items, we can either go about this two ways. We can either sell volume to our customers. So I don't recommend that, especially when you're starting, because when you have volume, you have to sell a lot of units and you have to have You'll make most of your profit based on the small things like your shipping fees and stuff like that. Whereas if you have a really good, amazing product that you can ship, you can charge higher for it, and the shipping fees don't really change the customer's mind in terms of buying it or not. But anyway, you want to ensure that the shipping fees are reasonable. um, the fourth thing is that you definitely want to have a product that you can create content with, or if there's already existing content. So on Alibaba, which I'll show you, you can actually pull down some images and videos that you can use as marketing collateral or get some ideas in terms of promoting the product. But essentially, you want to have a product where you can just take your phone and just shoot and go right there, and send it to your computer to edit and everything like that. So that is the product research method here, where we start backwards when understanding our audience, understanding their problems, and understanding their insecurities. And then from there, we figure out whether their insecurities or problems are global problems, local problems, or national problems. And then figuring out that does our audience have the money to pay for the solution? And then once we tick all those boxes, then we can start going and hopping onto AliExpress and find products that will solve the problems that we just listed for our audience. And then if those products go through the winning product criteria, meaning that, we can definitely put a 5x markup or 3x markup on the product, ensuring that the product is small enough to create content with, the shipping fees are reasonable, and it has a wow factor, then we know we can pick that product. Another thing that I'll probably say, but I'll speak more on in terms of the next video, is we want to ensure that we are buying the product from the right supplier, but more on that. So this is the product research method, the alternative to the TikTok creative research method. In the next video, I will definitely be showing you how to go onto Alibaba or AliExpress and to find the product that you're looking for, finding the right supplier, talking about trade insurance, ensuring that when you order the product, there's a money back guarantee if the product doesn't get to the customer, and ensuring how to get the right supplier for your online business. Thank you so much. See you soon in the next video.